Piers Morgan has been platforming a lot of right-wingers recently. Jordan Peterson, Douglas Murray, Candace Owens, Tim Dillon. And now he's platformed, because of course he has, Ye and Sneako. I'm kind of here for this because you know it's going to be mental because Ye is just mentally ill. Let's get straight into it.
I'm getting you multi-tracks right now. I'm about to step in this interview, but I can hop back on in about whenever it's done. That nuance right there, it's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
Due respect,
so many...
Why is Sneako there?
What are you talking about?
Oh.
We have to admit this is somewhat entertaining. You know, this is going to be laughed at by many people. It's not what I expected,
what's entertaining?
But that was funny.
Ye West is rarely out of the headlines at the moment. It's fair to say the headlines are equally rarely positive. The rapper, producer, and fashion designer is currently working on a new album. Several new tracks were previewed on a recent live stream with his friend Sneako. And both Sneako and Ye join me now. Well, welcome to Uncensored. Ye, we haven't spoken for a while. How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't use the term West, you know, the whole drop the slave name idea.
Okay, so we just call you Ye, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, look, when I last interviewed, we had a long conversation. And since then, a lot has happened in your life. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to try and talk to you about some of this. How would you say your life is at the moment?
I mean, you see that view?
Yeah. Your life is good?
Well, judge it on the view as the answer to how my life is. Judge me by the view.
Well, the view is Mallorca. I've been there. It's a beautiful place. And for all intents and purposes, you seem very relaxed and...
Is in Mallorca in May wearing what looks like leather trousers. I mean, that's a bit insane already.
Happy. That is in direct contrast to your public image at the moment over the last couple of years, led by your ferocious... Well, hang on, let me finish the question. Led by your ferocious use of...
No, but I already disagree. It's not in contrast. There's so many people and artists that are championing the idea of someone being able to just express who they really are and have been able to go through the war of being attacked by the banks, being attacked, you know, by the banks. That's the best way to put it, being attacked by the banks and to still be here with this view is, you know, that's the win. So I think I'm in contrast to your contrast.
Okay, but the point I was going to make is that...
I think we know what he means by banks, but yeah. He doesn't look well. I will give him that.
I watch what you put out on X. You've got 32 million followers, so you're one of the most followed people.
See, wait. Now look right now. You're not gonna take inches off my dick, bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
Well, how many is it?
I think you could do the study. You got a whole staff over there.
I thought it was 32 million. How many is it? You obviously know.
I mean, no. I mean, don't help them out. You know they.
I'm told it's 33 million now. So congratulations. You're slightly bigger following than I thought.
No, congratulations. Your information is correct. You're not just some, you know, dude trying to sub. You know, I'm a gift, bro. You know what I mean? Why do all you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when your child was born? You know, you take somebody that's living.
I don't think I know any of his songs at all. I may have listened to one without being aware, but I don't think I've listened to any of his songs. I could be wrong. Like, I don't get it personally.
Like a Lennon a Michael Jackson, and you just take all this time to just like that nuance right there. It's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I
with
put
all
out.
due respect,
So many,
what are you talking about? I haven't said anything.
What are you talking about? It's 30. Okay, now you're not taking accountability or responsibility.
Literally, you said it. You implied I haven't played your music. Of course I played your music.
No, sir. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Where's he gone, Sneako?
Really?
Yeah, that's it for Ye. But it's nice to meet you, Piers.
Where's he gone?
I think he's going back to work. There's several things he's working on. I was not aware he was going to leave like this, but it seems like he got upset about the...
So it's all just...
Really? Over not knowing that? I mean, maybe Piers did that on purpose. I wouldn't be surprised, but 32, 33, wow, is this fragile, that ego? I know the man's not well. He clearly isn't well, but let's continue.
It's a game, is it? Is that the idea?
Followers. I mean, life is a video game, is it?
No, I just wonder what the point of this exercise was. Was he supposed to do an interview or not?
Are you supposed to do an interview? But I mean, the amount of Twitter followers, something like that, it's patronizing for no reason. You said his name incorrectly. You know his name is Ye. This is very public about that. Hopefully we could do it. I think this was good. We were prepared for a good interview. But come on, you know what you were doing.
What do you think I'm doing?
I don't know. I don't think Piers Morgan necessarily did this on purpose. Like, I thought his name was Ye. I wouldn't have called him Ye. Like, I know he's Kanye West, but is he Ye? Ye, I don't care. I mean, the guy's a neo-Nazi. I mean, and then like, but this does should show you the fragility of these guys. Just fascism is just a mental illness, and the fact that just walking out of an interview because of a slight mistake. And I'm giving maybe Piers Morgan too much good faith here. I could be wrong, but come on. Like, so fragile. They are weak. Like, fascists are weak. They're the weakest men you will ever come across because they have nothing. It's all insecurity. It's all psychosexual dynamics. They hate themselves and they just project it out to the world.
I think you were trying to patronize very intentionally by getting those two things, under his skin. Maybe it could have been about past interviews or because...
How is that patronizing? Like, patronizing. How is that patronizing? I don't understand that.
Because of what happened yesterday. But, I mean, this information is not that difficult to get right.
Yeah, we called him Ye, and we got his Twitter following count wrong by 1 million, from 32 to 33 million. Also, for the record, you guys dicked us around yesterday, and you seem to find that very entertaining and amusing in your live stream, which I'm sure you will now. You kept all my crew in Spain and here waiting, and then wasted their time. And then you got us all back now, and you've wasted our time again. And you again may find that funny and entertaining, and that's fine. I don't. I think it's a total waste of everyone's time and effort and money.
Well, I mean, it is. I was ready for the interview yesterday, too. My time is important as well, regardless if it was wasted. We have to admit this is somewhat entertaining. This is going to be laughed at by many people. It's not what I expected,
what's entertaining?
That was funny. That's undeniably walking off right into the beginning of an interview is funny.
Yeah?
This is livid because he's like, oh, I want to get some anti-Semitic clickbait. Well, why didn't you question Candace Owens more? Why didn't you go deeper into Douglas Murray and the right-wing audience? Like, see, that's the thing. Like, obviously, Piers Morgan has no beliefs. He just is doing this to get clicks. He doesn't care about anti-Semitism. I really don't think he does, because you would not platform Candace Owens if you genuinely cared about it and you want to have a discussion where we have critical conversations. Because, again, he doesn't. Like, he's had interviews with Tucker Carlson, who's a white supremacist. He didn't hold him to any account at all. Like, so Ye is more blatant about it, and he's pretty direct in his anti-Semitism. But a lot of the people on the platform have very similar and adjacent talking points. Like Jordan Peterson, as I say, Douglas Murray, Candace Owens is pretty blatant about it. So why not go for them? Like, but he wants to go for this because it's, again, he's massive. Obviously, it's a big interview. But why not have that consistency? Well, because he doesn't have any values and he doesn't care. It's just, to him, he's like, he's lost money on this. The crew's been out in Mallorca for an extra day, which is going to be probably tens of thousands of pounds. That's a lot of money for this production. It's a low budget production by, normal standards. But he's losing money. That's what it's all about, baby.
Out of interest, what do you do with him?
I'm working on several films right now. I am streaming out here. I'm editing, and I work on things behind the scenes, some inspiration for art. I'm just there to try to help fulfill his vision.
Well, let me ask you the questions I would have asked him. So, I mean, out of interest, what is with his obsession with Hitler? Why is he so rampantly anti-Semitic?
I'm not going to answer questions on his behalf.
Well, you're going to have to because he's not there.
Questions on his behalf.
He's not there.
What's that?
He's not there. Literally, he's dropping a track today called Heil Hitler. Why are you happy to be associated with somebody like that, out of interest?
Well, I'm not going to speak on his art and his vision while
I'm asking you why you're happy to be associated with somebody who most of the world
answer this question,
believes is now a rampant anti-Semite.
Well, you're associated as well. Your show's called Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Yeah.
You tried to get him censored on X, and here you are on the days we're going to release the song doing an interview with him. So we're all involved here. It's not like I'm the only one complicit.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to get him on was because I don't think
you're complicit. Like, if you, platform a Nazi, like, that is a good question. Should you platform a Nazi like Ye? I think there's good arguments against and good for, because people are Nazis. If you censor it completely, it goes underground, and we are seeing a resurgence to the far right. Ye is a symptom of something. I think he has mental health issues. I think he's got real problems that he needs to deal with. He really needs to deal with. But Sneako just can't answer the question. But they can never answer these questions, because how do you defend something like this? You can't really.
Anyone holds him to account for anything he does on X. And in fact, he deliberately breaches all of X's rules, and yet he does it with impunity and is allowed to.
Which is ironic, because Piers Morgan is a Trump supporter. I think he's been pretty defensive of Elon Musk. Again, another neo-Nazi who's platformed Nazis. Andrew Anglin, Nick Fuentes, lots of far-right figures who were reinstated when Elon bought Twitter in 2022. Doesn't seem to have a problem with that, but he's focusing on Ye, and I don't like that inconsistency. Like, be consistent here, Piers, please. Obviously, he won't be.
Do it, whereas millions of other accounts get suspended for far less offences. So I was going to ask him directly, which is why I mentioned his X following. I was going to ask him about what he puts on X and why he does this, why he continually attacks Jewish people, why he continually celebrates Adolf Hitler. And then I'm curious about, given he's not there, can't answer these questions, what your association is with this guy and whether you're comfortable to be associated with somebody who most people consider to be an anti-Semite.
I think I just answered this question. And these are good questions. I think I just answered half of that.
We haven't answered the question, though, have you?
But, I mean, if I did, you said, what are you doing out here? And I said, I'm doing films and I'm recording behind the scenes and I'm streaming and I'm editing and helping fulfill his vision.
Have you been helping him with the track Heil Hitler?
No, I don't. I'm not a music guy. And if you wanted to get questions about his Twitter or X correct, then you should have got the number of followers correct. That was something intentional that you knew what you were doing.
So I got
if you
the
know
size of his
everything
dick
about
wrong.
what he's
Is
tweeting,
that what you say?
Well, if you know everything else that he's tweeting, you should have got that right as well.
Oh, don't be so pathetic, Sneako. Honestly, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get good content which will promote you, Sneako. And I'm just curious how you, Sneako, deal with the fact that you are so openly associating yourself
You asked that question
with
a few
somebody
times,
who
and I
seems
mean, I
to
can ask you the
worship
same thing.
Adolf Hitler and is pro the Nazis. Do you feel comfortable about that?
No, we worship God. There's a
No,
if you're gonna
he
say it's
worships
pathetic
Adolf
that
Hitler.
I'm here promoting this. We could talk about how
He
pathetic it
worships
is that
Adolf Hitler.
That you were essentially working for Israel up until a couple months ago and
Really?
promoting
When was I
things
working for Israel?
like genocide and not pushing back.
When was I working for Israel?
If it's pathetic to make films behind the scenes of one of the greatest living artists, probably the greatest living artist,
Well, he certainly was.
You point the finger at
He
you
certainly
and say
was
it's pathetic as well.
he was a great artist. Unfortunately, he's become a rampant anti-Semite who adores Adolf Hitler, embraces Nazism, uses swastikas, slogans
I'm pretty sure he says he loves
to
everyone.
sell his
I'm not
merchandise,
gonna speak
and
for
has a
him,
new
but-
record out called Heil Hitler. So forgive me.
That's all he has. Like, you can't even address it. Come on. Like, of course you can't answer the questions, but pathetic.
If I don't currently
The
see
song is
him
not. I mean,
as one of the
everything you're
world's
saying
great
in this question
artists.
is incorrect.
Yeah. But I don't see
Everything
him.
you're saying in this question is incorrect.
Sorry?
The song isn't out. The song isn't out for one. And two, he says he loves everyone. He says he loves Jews. He says he loves Hitler. He says he loves everybody. But this
So
could
when he,
be,
so when he
Yeah,
says,
but
let me ask you, given you're the one sitting there, he said Jews were better as slaves. You have to put your Jews in their place and make them into your slaves. You then said make your Jews work for you, but watch them as close as you can, whip the Jews. You comfortable with that, Sneako?
Yeah, he's
I think
laughing.
I find it funny. That's not something that I would do personally. I don't whip
You think
anybody.
it's funny,
I
do
don't,
you? Whipping
condone
Jews?
slavery.
Using Jews as slaves? You think that's
I think
funny?
the context of that is funny, yeah.
What's
and
the
also
humour?
to
I'm
remove
missing
any sense of
context.
humor
I'm missing
from
the
that is
humour. What's the
ridiculous.
humour?
I mean, do you want me to break down a joke for you?
You think it's a joke, do you, about whipping Jews?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a joke because I've been here for a couple weeks and he hasn't whipped any Jews.
Really? So because he hasn't actually whipped any yet,
Yeah,
that's a joke.
He really has.
Yeah.
Really has. But Piers, before I leave, I don't want to speak on his behalf. If you're agreeing
But what
that
choice
he's
do we
the
have? You
greatest
set
living
this
artist
thing.
right now,
You set this farce up. He's dicked us around. You're the one left, so you're going to have to be accountable for him. Unless you want to walk away too.
accountable. What do you want to hold me accountable?
If you don't want to answer questions either, you are free to stand up and walk away like a little sniveling
Well, you can ask
coward
questions.
too.
If you have questions for me, then I'll feel
You
free
know
to
what? Here's
answer
my
those.
question
But
for
just
you.
when it comes to Ye,
Why is your mate Ye?
is this whole thing going to be interrupting, or
Why is your mate
this whole
Ye?
thing just going to be interrupting? Or do you want me to speak at all?
You're sounding like Andrew Tate Light, like his annoying little younger brother we never knew about. Okay, doesn't work with me. Okay, you set this thing up. It's obviously some kind of elaborate.
I honestly wish Piers Morgan was more like this with all the right wingers, because I don't know why you're distinguishing Ye and Sneako from Candace Owens and Douglas Murray, as far as I'm concerned. Because this is entertaining to see. Pushing back against Nazis is entertaining, but he has no values. So it's kind of a bit undermined by the fact that he, will just sail where the wind sails with his anti-wokeness. But the logical conclusion from a lot of the guests you like to talk with, Donald Trump, is this. Like, take it to the end of the line. What do you have? And I don't even think he's aware of that. I think he just thinks I get the numbers and that's all that matters.
Prank.
Okay, your team asked me to do this. If you want to be Netanyahu light on TV,
but given you want to make,
if you want to be Dave Portnoy with the suit,
it's fine.
Then sure. If you want to do ad hominem attacks, then why invite someone on your show? I set this up because your team asked me to do it. I did everything that I could. If I knew that this would, I'm not here wasting your time. You're angry at me for setting up an interview that you wanted. If you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer those.
Here's
if you
my
want to
question.
keep doing
Why
insults,
did
there's no point in me being here.
Why did Ye stand up like a sniveling little coward and walk away before I could ask him difficult questions?
For the third time, Piers, I don't know if you have a hearing problem, but I'm not going to answer questions on another man's behalf. But
Really?
thank you for
Even though
having
you
me.
set
If
up
would
the
like to
interview
talk
with
one-on-one
him.
another time, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
thank
tell
you.
him from me he's a sniveling little coward. And he's an anti-Semite and a Hitler worshipper. That's what I would have asked him if he'd had the balls to sit there and take the questions. And there you are, proudly associating yourself with him. Good luck to you, Sneako. Everyone can see you for what you are.
Okay, so that's it. He wanted to platform a Nazi. He was unable to do it. He looks quite upset. He'll platform other Nazis, but, no consistency, no values, just, this is the world we live in now. Piers Morgan, journalist. Okay. See you next time.